everybody. Welcome back to our Filmmaker interviews with some of these stunning filmmakers. I'm Renae Santos with La Femme Film Festival. We're catching up with these filmmakers, giving us a little tidbit of why they've brought their films to this festival. I'm so excited to talk to this filmmaker, Theresa Demarest. Am I saying your name right?
Demarest.
Say it one more time.
Demarest.
Demarest. Okay, I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. You have the same name as my sister, so I won't mess up your first name.
Oh.
But so yeah, let's talk about Throwaway Horses. This is a documentary, and I'd love to hear more about your why. What first drew you to this subject, and what made you feel like you were the right person to tell this story?
Well, when I was a little girl, and I remember people. I've mentioned this before, and I can't believe people knew about this. But I grew up in Sacramento. And there was this guy that would come around with his pony and convince the neighbors to let their little children get on his pony, and he would take a professional photograph of you and then charge the parents $1,000,000. And and he came every year. And I was 4 years old the first time he came, and I have pictures of me on this same horse till I was 12. Anyway, that horse made an impression on me, and then I've been an ex-nun and a critical care nurse, and when I retired from critical care, I'd always wanted to be around horses. And so I answered this ad in the paper, and it said, "Do you love horses, and do you like to learn to ride?" And I said, "Yeah." And that's when I met my horse, Taya.
Aww.
And I learned during the process. She's 23 now, and what I learned is that people don't know what's going on with horses. There are terrible things happening to horses. There are people that spend $100,000 on a horse, and it's the wrong color, it goes lame, and they bring it up into the forest and let it go, and the horses die. There are things going on with horses that I made this movie. I really wanted to make this movie for the people who are not horse people.
Oh,
So that we understand what's going on. We know what's going on with cats and dogs, but we don't know what's going on with horses. And I'm hoping that by the end of this, and I want people not to be thrown off by it, because we've got a lot of humor at the end of over the credits, and that we want to bring them to understand. And all these horses that are in this movie, there are about 6 horses. They kind of represent different aspects of, this race horse that we cover, and home horses.
How did you build that trust and the intimacy with a horse? I'm curious, as
Oh my God! It took a lot. She was 8 months old when I got her, and the first day I was an idiot. I really was, and I had seen people take their horses and bring them out into the arena and let them go and play with them. Well, I thought, okay, I'll do that. And so I went to the arena, and I brought her with me. She was kind of coming along. Who the hell are you? And, and I go into the arena, and I close the gate, and coming at me full force, galloping, is a stallion. He would have killed us both, because he wants to kill the baby so that he can mate. And so, because of my critical care background, I was able to concentrate on the latch. I opened the latch, I got us out, he slammed himself against the thing, and I bring her back to her stall. It was like, she was going, "Oh no, who the hell is this?" I was a dope with a rope, is what they say. So I got into some programs called natural horsemanship, which means that I had to learn her language. And I didn't know this when I got her, but she is probably one of the hottest breed there is. Very intelligent, very athletic. Not a really good horse for a first-time horse owner who knows nothing about horses. So I went to natural horsemanship teachers eventually. And what they emphasize is I have to learn her language. And that took some time and a lot of forgiveness.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, I imagine, even speaking, I have a couple of dogs, and it's their own language, right? So I imagine it's such a different experience with a horse. Well, I'm so intrigued by your project. I'm wondering if you talk a little bit more about your perspective as a woman and how that shaped the lens of how you told this story.
Well, I tried to get men involved in my movie.
They weren't
And,
interested.
well, this is this is really bad. I'm going to get really criticized for this, but this was from a videographer I was working with. It was from a barn owner that I was working with, and these were guys, and they said, "Well, if you have a calendar with all the women and their horses in bikinis, we'd love to be part of it."
Mm,
And that's what they said. So at that point, I quit.
mm.
If men became involved in the film, great. And some men finally did find their way into my movie. And I'm really happy that they did because we got some really good, strong male people in the
Wow.
movie. I almost forgot your question. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you answered this. I was just concerned about. I mean, curious about your role as a woman in bringing this story to life, as being
Well,
selected.
I wanted to bring both men and women into the project because, you know, that's when the world works best when we all work together. But the men just didn't want to be part of it.
Now, Theresa, I believe we have a clip of your film. I want to make sure that we have a moment here where we can show that as.
Sure.
So I want to wrap up for our audiences here. Will you finish this sentence for me? The power of documentary filmmaking is what to you?
Oh, letting people know what's going on. I'm kind of an organic filmmaker, and I just went in trying to bring out the personality of the horses and the personality of the people. And in fact, in writing the music for this thing, it happened during COVID, and my composer, I didn't give him, you know, notes to play. I sent him sequences of each horse, and he wrote the music specifically for that horse. So I kind of do things organically, and I want to bring out what the people are telling me and to tell it. I want them to tell me, not me tell them.
Oh, I love this. Well, I want to
Yes.
make sure that people get their actual butts in the seats and support you in this festival. So if you'll tell
Thank
me
you.
really quickly when you're screening at La Femme, and then we'll go to a clip of Throwaway Horses.
Okay. Yeah, we're screening on October 18th at noon at
Awesome.
the Regal Cinema. It's going to be the best version of the film that I think we'll ever get to see because our chances of getting a theatrical release aren't high. Theatrical releases are extremely expensive, but Regal Cinemas is going to be 5.1 surround, a big
You
screen.
never know who's going to be there, right? You never know.
I know.
I've got my fingers crossed for you. I feel like
Thank
good
you.
things are coming for you. Thank you, Theresa, for joining us today. And join you guys in watching a clip of Throwaway Horses.